everybody. I didn't get to finish typing on Twitter. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Silverline Silver Sunday on the August the 23rd, 2026. Tomorrow's my son's birthday, but I'll embarrass him tomorrow. We are excited tonight. We've got us a fun guest that we're going to just, as we always do, we're going to talk comics and we're going to have a blast. I am joined, as always, by currently at his desk, but mentally where? At the
Lido. I'm already on my cruise. I'm ready.
Oh, is that the name of the boat?
No, the Lido deck.
The Lido deck.
Don't you watch the Love Boat?
I've never is it the Love Boat? I've never been on one, so how am I supposed to know what the Lido deck is? What's a Lido deck?
That's the main deck where the pool and all the partying and all the
Why
good
don't you
stuff's
just
happening.
say main deck?
Because that's not what it's called. It's called the Lido deck.
Lido deck.
So
they don't call it the main deck because that's not what it's called.
We're with the fancy schmancy Tommy, and we're also joined by silver-haired Silverliner himself, Mr. Tom Mason. Say hi,
Hi,
Tom.
everybody. I'm back, so watch out.
Woohoo! We missed you last week, Tom.
I missed you guys, too.
We are
Except
also
for Lloyd. This is the first time I've seen him.
That's right.
I hope you miss me later.
Well, he fired, but he missed, right?
Yeah.
And we are also joined by MillertonGazette.substack.com himself, that man in the mask guy, Mr. Mike W. Belcher. Say hi, Mike.
Howdy, 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 everybody.
And two Kentuckians with us tonight.
I was going to say, it's a Kentucky night.
Yeah.
It
We're going to
is.
play basketball when it's over.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
There's a
That's
party.
required by law, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a party on the front yard. And I got the Monte Carlo on the cinder blocks waiting for everybody.
There you go.
Yeah. And of course, grass is growing up under it because you can't get the mower
That's right.
around it.
Weed eater won't go under there. It won't work.
Yeah. And last but not least, our guest for the night, Mr. Lloyd Smith, who runs Blue Moon Comics. I can't read the last part of that. Is that what,
Instigator.
Instigator. Okay. Hi, Lloyd. How are you? Say hi to everyone.
Hello. I'm doing fine, and I'm glad to be here.
You didn't talk long enough for me to type.
Do that thing right there.
Read the prepared remarks so Roland has time.
Yeah, I'm trying to type out on Twitter. Yeah, thanks for joining us, Lloyd. Much appreciated. Yeah, it was pretty. So Lloyd shared some before we get there. Lloyd shared a folder with us, because usually what I ask is like, hey, you got a PDF you want me to share around with the group, right? Because I don't, and I'm sure Lloyd didn't. I never expect, right, that not everyone has seen comics from our guest, right? Because we're mostly indie people, and so Lloyd sends me this link, and there's like 50 comics in there, and I'm like,
take your pick.
Yeah.
Okay.
I made my pick, by the way.
Okay.
So I just sent the link out to everybody. Say, okay, y'all pick something and read something for Sunday. So thank you for that, Lloyd. I very much appreciate it. Blue Moon's got of course, I've seen you around doing the Diversions things for a long time. I don't know how long, but for a long time.
Almost. We're in our 6th year.
Oh, nice. Check this out. You got some fans here already. Argo Argo Comics says, I have them all. There you go.
He does.
Max Apocalypse says, Blue Mooniacs Unite.
Yep,
Oh,
he's been there
look
from
at
the beginning,
Blue
too.
Mooniacs, that's a great name.
Yeah.
Look at this. Stephen Butler Studios says the Groovy Agent is in the house. So this is fantastic. So but before we get started, we do have to we usually get some updates, and I know a lot of people probably already know, but we want to just take a second and recognize the industry lost a couple people this week. Roger McKenzie was one, and if you've been in comic books, reading as a comic book fan or collector for any number of years, you absolutely know his name. So I don't know why he was he wasn't a young fella, but I don't know what the cause of his passing was. Does anybody know? Roger McKenzie?
He had.
Go ahead. I was just going to say what they put on it was that he had end of life or end of stage heart failure.
Oh, okay.
And he had liver and heart problems.
Yeah, I know he always posts to the Peepsters. He's had some health struggles the last several years. I know that. But we also lost Dave Lamphere. who you might not recognize Dave's name, but I almost can guarantee you see books that have Dave's name on it. Dave's been around for a long time. He was a staff artist at Malibu, which is where I met him.
And staff letterer too.
Staff letterer, yeah. And I want to say post Malibu, didn't he joined one of
he worked for Star Kings at Comic Craft.
Thank you. Yeah, Star Kings at Comic Craft. So and this
And
is why
he did his own. He did his own there for a while.
He did his own. Yep. So
a really good guy. I never heard a bad word about him, and he was really fun to have around the office too.
Nope. In fact, and I know I told Tom this. I don't know how many other people I've told, but Dave was instrumental a little more than a decade ago with me when I started learning how to letter. No, I won't letter your comic book, so don't send them to me. When I started learning to letter, he was incredibly helpful. And just offered me a lot of suggestions and critiques. Didn't pull any punches. I guess he remembered me as an editor at Malibu.
See,
so
karma comes back to bite you in the book.
Yeah. So he didn't pull any punches, but he was incredibly helpful to me. And so
he knew his stuff.
He did. He knew his stuff. And I want to say the last, and I know he's done stuff since this, but the last thing I really remember him lettering, and I use this in my class sometimes, is he did, Mike, you probably remember this. He did Matt Wagner's version of, he lettered Matt Wagner's version of The Shadow, which was just fantastic. The lettering on that is just phenomenal.
He did The Shadow, but he also did The Spirit. Are you talking about The Spirit?
That's what I meant. I meant The Spirit.
Yeah.
I was searching. You couldn't see it, but the gears of my brain were turning, going, "What was it? What was it? What
it's
was
an
it?"
S word. It's an S word.
Yeah.
I know it's an S word.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much after that, he was Matt's letterer after that Spirit in the 2015
really
time frame. After that, Grendel, anything that Matt did, he lettered.
Yeah,
he was a regular Top Cow guy too for a while.
Yeah. Well, he was a great guy. Like I said, we several of us knew him personally. And just a fantastic letter. He was the last time I saw him was the last time I went with Tommy and Barry out to San Diego for the San Diego Comic-Con, and got to hang with him just a few minutes, but always nice as he always was. So yeah, we want to remember those guys. It just it happens. The longer you live, the more you're going to see that, but it's still sad. So. The Wiz 1962 says, "I'm seeing Blue Moon." Hi, folks. What's up, The Wiz 1962? Thanks for hanging out with us.
Can you call a guy The Wiz?
Not if you're in a public restroom, you can't.
No.
We appreciate all you guys hanging out with us. Hey, listen, we're going to ask Lloyd a whole bunch of questions. If you guys in the chat have questions, please feel free to post them. We will make sure we get those asked of Lloyd, and we won't let him go until he answers them. How's that? So
I'll make up something if I have to.
That's the spirit there. All right. So while these guys are thinking of their questions, Lloyd, one of the first questions I always ask our comic making guest here is, what's the first comic little Lloyd remembers reading?
Well, there was a lot of Disney and Archie and
gears,
things
right?
like that. And you could see my gears clicking if you listen real hard. If I move this mic just right, you'll hear them. Yeah, they're a little bit greasy. They click a little.
A squeak, maybe? A little squeaking?
Grind.
Oh.
It's more of a grind. But the first one I remember actually picking out off the spinner rack was actually an issue of the Flash.
Okay.
Back in 67 or 8, somewhere in there, I guess. And it was continued. And I'd never seen anything like that before. So the next day I had my dad go back to the store that we bought it from, because I was going to find the next part. And I'm like, I have no idea what I'm talking about or what I'm doing. So I found another copy. It had the same cover. I said, maybe it's got the ending. I couldn't read. Yet. So I had 2 copies of that Flash issue. I still don't know how the thing ended. I just know it's one with the giant samurai on the cover. And
so
but it marked me.
How did the conversation go where you're trying to tell your dad he's got to go to the store, check a spinner rack and get you the comic?
I'm not sure, but I do know that he took me.
Because my dad
So
would
I
look at me like I
must-
was like I was from a foreign
yeah.
country.
He probably did, and he probably tried to talk me out of it, but I was bound. I mean, 3, 4 years old. It's hard to convince a 3 or 4 year old to change their minds.
Yeah.
I guess it was easier just to go buy the stupid thing and give it to him and he'll shut up.
Well,
my dad would have got me M&Ms and just said, "Here, shut up."
Right. Yeah. Well, I was very fortunate. My mom would gladly take me, but she wouldn't have gone she didn't look at the spinner rack for me. She would say, "You've got 5 minutes," and pull up at the door,
grab something.
and I'd have to
Your
run into,
mother must have known my mother.
right. And I had to look through all of them trying to find the one I wanted.
My parents grew up on comics, and so Mom loved all the Love comics, and Dad was he remembered
That's
Captain Marvel and all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
But they would, if I wasn't with them, if they went to the store and there was a spinner rack, they'd grab one for me. I wouldn't know what I'd come home with, but and then they
They grabbed what
wonder
they
why.
wanted to read, and they told you.
You lived in a wonderland. My parents would have.
My parents would have done that either. Yeah.
My mom always read to me, and if it was a comic book for me, whatever, they'd get it. And by the time I was in first grade, the teachers were like, "You're ready to read already." I'm like, "Good, give me a comic book." No, we don't do that. It was in the 60s, of course.
Right. Yeah.
But I got revenge. I became a teacher. I brought comics to school for my kids to read.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I did.
You
You were one of the
let
good
them-
ones.
Do you let them read as part of the classwork?
Well, no, it was a reward.
Nice.
When you finish your work and you've got something, because kids with nothing to do in a classroom is just trouble anyway. I'd have a big stack up on my desk. I'd say, "Come get one," and that did just fine.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is fantastic. Look at this, Lloyd. You're bringing you're bringing the chatter here. The Wiz says this is an old moniker. That's Rob Shaldo. I know who Rob Shaldo is.
Yeah, Rob.
Thanks for hanging out with us, man.
He colored a cover for us.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very good. Pops at Madness says, "Hey, yo, what's up, Pops? Thanks for hanging out with us."
Mr.
Always
Pops.
not on Pops, but hey, yo. Max Apocalypse says, "I have that shirt, Lloyd."
Max has more of these shirts than I do. I can count on Max when we come out with a new shirt. He's the first one to buy one.
Oh, that's sweet. Let's see
Yeah.
here. Bradley Ulrich. I almost said Ulbrich. Bradley Ulrich says, "Ooh, I miss spinner racks. Boy, don't we all."
Yeah. Now he does Commodore Dinosaur for us, and he's doing some other things too. So
I have questions.
he is a
Oh, yeah.
multi-talent.
He's a great artist. Great
Yes.
artist.
David Irwin says, "Blue Moon forever." JW Irwin here. Okay, JW, thanks for hanging out with us, JW.
If you looked at those comics, you saw JW's art all over the place. He did.
Yes.
He does covers, Night Spider. I got my peeps here.
Yeah, that's right. You brought him.
You pushed
Roger
it,
had
pushed
his
it hard on
peepsters.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Roger, by the way, everything you say about it, how good a person he was, is true. I met him on Facebook. Another Kentucky native, and he kind of took me under my wing for a little while when Mort Todd was doing the Pick C, and I came up with the Guns N' Roses idea, and he really liked it, and he showed it to the other guys, and they were like, "Yeah, let's see some more." I pitched it to him, and he mentored me through those first 2 stories.
Oh, sweet.
And actually came up with a way better ending for the origin story, the first one, than I ever dreamed of. He's like, "Is it not obvious?" I'm like, "No." And when he told me it was very obvious.
Yeah.
But I still have, if I go on his page, I can still get on the messenger and I can read his encouragement and his advice and things that he was doing. And man, he was a great guy.
Yeah. Rob says, "God bless the moms and dads we had." Absolutely,
Yes.
100%. Max says, "My mom was a Harvey Comics fan growing up, and she loved cartoons like Felix the Cat. So I had a strong support group when I expressed an interest in comics at like 4 years old or so." That is fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. We got a hi,
That's my
Dad.
daughter. She colors for us. Listen, the family is in this thing. She colors some of our stories.
That's cool.
She's also a teacher. She's takes after Dad.
Oh, sweet. That's
Does
nice.
she bring comics to work though?
I'm working on it. She's got
Okay,
third
all right,
grader.
all right.
You know, like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know how that
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah.
She does do a cool thing. This has nothing to do with anything, though. She has a mobile bookshop. She took an old camper and remodeled it, and she travels to like usually coffee shops because books and coffee, you know, go together.
Right.
And it's called Shelf Life Books, and she travels to different places, and she gets local authors, and they just had a signing yesterday at one of the coffee shops nearby, and
One of those
you
books
posted
on wheels
that
kind of
before,
thing.
didn't you?
I kind of want to
that's
move
cool.
to Kentucky now.
I know.
yeah, Kentucky is a happening place if you just know where to
hearing that.
look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've
Got
seen
the
you
beautiful
post about
mountains,
that
that's
before.
for sure.
I have,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah. Let's see here. Max says, I was not aware of the Underground Kentucky Railroad situation going on around here.
We're That's why you
the
work.
comic
You know,
books and-
it's underground, so
Yeah.
All the comic books and moonshine going on in Kentucky. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Hopefully
you
not.
got to have something to do while you're drinking. You
third
know,
graders.
the third graders won't. They don't even get the comics yet, so we'll.
No, they got the
Hey, look
moonshine
at this.
first.
I know what this says.
Dakota.
Because he says, hey, Dakota. He says, howdy, folks. Hi,
Yeah.
Lloyd.
Man,
Hi, Dakota. I watched the.
Wow.
I just rewatched the episode where you guys talked to him,
Oh,
and y'all had
nice.
such a good time. It made me ready to get on here. So,
Yeah. Well,
It made
you
me
know
want to
what?
move to Japan.
That's right.
well, no, I like where I am, but I sure wanted to talk to you guys after watching him talk with you.
Well, and that's usually when I you know, because not everybody's seen our show, and I get that. Usually, when I ask somebody, I say, they're like, "What do you do?" I'm like, "We just have fun talking comic books. That's what we do. We talk about comics and we have a good time." So,
yeah.
Yeah, I remember when you were starting it, you actually contacted me because that was in my Groovy Agent days, my Diversions of the Groovy Kind blog.
I
And
absolutely remember.
stupid me said I was trying to get Blue Moon started.
Yeah,
You know, that was
Yep.
really kind of important. And I was like, maybe someone down the road. But here I am finally.
Well, down the road, it worked out.
Yeah.
yeah. All right, Lloyd. So my next question is, all right. So you had early comics here. At what comic was it that you read that said, "This is what I want to do"? You'd been reading comics, right? But at what point in time did you read a comic and say, "This right here is what I want to do"?
Avengers 88, Hulk 140 crossover.
Hmm.
That made me a Marvel fan. I discovered Batman on TV when I was 3.
Okay.
I won't tell the whole story about how the neighbors across the road had a color TV, and I
And
had
you
to go
didn't.
across there and
Yeah.
dance with a rubber chicken to get to watch it. But I did. But I'm not going to
That's a
mention
good
that.
story, though.
Yeah.
Thankfully, no cell
Too
phones.
bad I
back
didn't
then,
tell
right?
it. Yeah. But that got me hooked. And then I saw the Marvel heroes on TV. And that's when I started wanting to get superhero comics. But by the time I was in the 2nd grade, that's around the time that those two came out. And that crossover and Sal's art and Herb's art and Roy Thomas's writing, I was just
Yeah.
like, oh, man. I sat down at the kitchen counter and got some typing paper and started making my own superhero pretty much that moment, and I've been doing it ever since.
Yeah, sweet. That's a good
excellent.
one. Yeah, Max says Avengers 88, Hulk 140. He's looking those up right now.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't know about you guys, but and I don't even remember what it was, but when I saw my first crossover title where characters appeared in another book, it just blew my mind. It's like,
I didn't know they could do that.
They knew each other.
Yeah,
That was
Yeah.
like seeing Batman on the Wild Wild West or something in my head. It's like those things don't happen.
yeah.
And wouldn't that have been something?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, and I was a fan of, I bought the Marvel team up books, so it wasn't terribly unusual for me to see other characters. But that's how I got to meet a lot of them. I'm like,
Yeah,
because I remember Nightcrawler and Marvel team up, one of the early Marvel team ups I read, and I'm like, who's Nightcrawler? Who are the X-Men? I don't know who these people are, right? So it introduced me to a whole, and sometimes they would mention them, Spider-Man swinging through. Hey, I wonder what the X-Men are doing. Right?
Yeah.
who are the X-Men? Right?
The team up books were awesome. They were great.
Yeah, I absolutely loved those. All right, so you started making them when you were but a wee lad. So what was your progress from when you started making them? How did you progress from that? Did you go to school for art or writing or publishing, and then how did you go from there to the very first published work, and what was that?
Well, I'm one of these guys that if I don't know how to do something, I'll just keep trying until I figure it out if I don't have anybody to show me.
Yeah.
My dad taught me how to trace, how to put a comic book up to the window, the page with the picture on it, put a piece of paper over it and trace it. And that's how I started learning how to draw. I wasn't real great at it, but I enjoyed it. I wanted to be a comic book artist, but I didn't know anybody else that wanted to do that sort of thing. So I had to make up the stories too. And so it got to where I was just better at it. In other words, I'm self-taught.
Yeah.
But by the time I was 13, I don't know if you can see this very well or not.
We will.
I created my first handmade comic book on typing paper. I colored it with pencil crayons and things like that. It was during we had a big flood when I was in the 8th grade. We were off for like 2 months. And so in that 2 months, every day I sat at the desk and I'm making this comic, which this character eventually became Ultimus, which I have published at Blue Moon. So I actually did 3 issues of this from the time I was in the 8th grade till the time I was a freshman. I got lazy on the 3rd one and just shaded it with the pencil instead of coloring it. So the 3rd issue is in black and white. But
yeah.
but I made more after it, but I just made them in black and white. But bits and pieces after that. But I completed 3. I was pretty proud of myself at that time.
That's nice.
But like I said, it was all self-taught. I just study the comics.
Yeah.
Right down to the indicia. I'm like, how do I make that copyright sign and things like that? I just looked at them until I figured out my version of how to make them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But eventually I went on to college and had some friends there who were into it. And we tried to come up with our own comics and things, even worked on a few. Nothing came of it. But eventually I just put an ad in Comics Buyer's Guide in 1988.
Okay.
You guys remember Comics Buyer's Guide?
Absolutely.
And it was one of those free ones. I subscribed and got the free ad. And I said, who wants to make comics with me, pretty much? And Warren Montgomery, who does Will Ill Comics, and John Gilbert from Canada. He brought along like people like Seppo Mackinnon and people like that with him. And we gave it a try, but yeah.
So,
yeah, he did some things for Marvel even, but he drew the first 3 Mercury stories, and I've reprinted the first 2 and colored them in the Diversions. But that kind of faded out. It was the end of the black and white boom bust time. And in the late 90s, we decided we tried again, and we did pretty well then. This is the very first, somebody asked me before, what was the very first Blue Moon comic? And this is the very first Blue Moon comic. Warren Montgomery took my little pitiful handmade Blue Moon logo and made it beautiful.
Nice.
And here's Seppo in the very first story, in the very first comic. There's Seppo's artwork. And we did an 80-pager. I mean, I'm an anthology person. I'm all about anthologies. Ed Quimby, some of you guys might remember him. He was from Florida. He did a lot of work in the indies and small press and things at the time. But that did pretty well. The internet was first starting up, and you could get on CBR or anything right up there with Marvel and DC if you were making a comic. Yeah. And then my job changed, and so I kind of had to lay it aside again. So in 2019, for a long time I just wrote comics for. I did some for the Creeps magazine before it became Shutter. I did a lot of stuff for Warren Montgomery, John Helmer at Lucky Comics, just a lot of small places. But my friend Mark Davis came up. He called me. I was watching one of the Marvel movies at the time. I forget which one at the theater. And I get a text. I got 3 characters I've created. Which one do you want to write? And I'm like, I'm watching this movie. So I just put away and thought about it. And all I could think about was, man, that Brick character sounds pretty cool. So I did Unbeatable Brick. And that led to me meeting David Johnson Jr., who drew the first story. And when we put some pages from that up online, other artists started saying, man, that character is cool. I'd like to draw one of those. So that's where James J.W. Irwin came from. That's where the late Donnie Page came from. They were like, I want to draw that. You got some stories, and heck yeah, if there's a good artist wants a story, if I don't have it, give me 5 minutes and I'll have a story for you.
Yeah.
So by the time that we got going with those guys, I thought the bug had bitten me. I'm bringing back Blue Moon. So in 2019, we started working on it. I sent it off to Kablam and the guys, and they took really good care of me.
Yep.
And then COVID hit.
Yeah.
But we were doing it online, so we just kept chugging right along. So now we're at issue 25.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
So it's just self-taught, too dumb not to know you can't do it. So I just did it anyway.
Yeah, and we I thought I already had it shared here. We've got actually a lot faster than I thought we'd get to it. But we've got this is the cover for Diversions.
That's
25.
the main cover.
Yeah,
That's nice.
Yep.
Beautiful cover by
That's
JW.
JW, and Matt Webb said, "Hey, you got something for me to color?" And I said, "Thank you."
yeah,
I'd color it
Yeah.
myself.
yeah.
And I'm like, this guy colored for John Byrne and everybody else. I'm like, yes, please, thank you.
Yeah,
And he
he's great.
did a great job on it.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, and we mentioned this last week, but one of the things that we need to stop and say for a moment is that this is 25. This is the issue number 25. This is not a common thing in indie comics today. Now,
Right.
in the 1980s, it wasn't unusual. We saw those, but how long ago is the 1980s?
46 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long time ago now. Yeah. Was it not at least 6 years?
And not only is it 25 issues, it's 25 issues he's not crowdfunded. He's done this purely for the love, and everybody who's involved with it did it for the love, and they didn't let a lack of a crowdfund or whatever. It just 25 issues for so many different reasons is such a great hallmark.
So
Yeah, we didn't want somebody else telling us what kind of comics to make. We wanted to make the comics that we wanted to make, and we knew that there are people who like the kind of comics that we like.
Right.
And so we thought, well, if we like them, other people will probably like them too. And 25 issues later, there's some people hanging around that obviously there's a few on here chatting. Thanks for showing up, guys, that support us by contributing and by buying and doing reviews and all those sorts of things. So we have a blast. We just we never meet face to face, but we just have a ball making comics.
Max Apocalypse says the 1980s was at most 15 years ago, and now we'll hear no further arguments.
I agree with Max.
Max, you're good.
That's correct. Well, so I have an interesting observation, at least to me, is that everything that you've said. So when you started to, when you first got the idea to make your own comics when you were little, you wanted to make your own characters, and you've continued that to this day.
Yeah.
And not one word from you have I heard of like, oh, I wanted to work for DC, or I wanted to work for Marvel, or I wanted to write Batman or whatever. So I think that's to your credit that you just said they got their thing for whatever it is.
Yeah.
I love comics so much, I'm just making my own.
Yeah. When I first started trying to learn to draw, of course, I traced it. I gave everybody a new costume. I gave Spider-Man a new costume. I gave Captain America a new costume. I didn't know what else to do. But I was, always have been a big fan of the mainstream comics. The 80s came along. I fell in love with First Comics. I fell in love with Capital. I fell, and Heroic and everybody that was put out. I tried everything. I love every genre. I just love comics. My parents would say, you eat, sleep, drink, breathe comics. I'm like, it's in my blood. I've absorbed all that ink through my blood, and that's the way it is. But I never, even though I was a dad, I was a teacher, all kinds of hats I was wearing, I kept this little dream alive of I've got these characters. Night Spider started off as a total, everybody says, that looks like a Batman ripoff. Well, he kind of is, but I mixed him with Spider-Man and whatever. But there's James's artwork.
Nice.
But he was originally I have no shame. I'm gonna tell you, he was called Moon Eagle. I couldn't think of another creature of the night kind of name. I thought Moon Eagle, and I created a costume and everything for him. And the thing that stayed consistent about him is that he's a creature of the night, and his secret identity is Denny Knight. And that's James, and that's my daughter Jessica colored that, and
Nice.
J.W. Irwin did the art. And but he even though he looks like you look at the cover and think, oh, he's this. He's not exactly, because like this character, for example, is not just Batman swinging around like Spider-Man, but he's a little bit of Lone Ranger. He's a little bit of Columbo. He's a little bit of Joe Friday. He likes to. My wife, when we watch Dragnet, she say, he is so holier than thou. He makes all these speeches, and I'm like, yeah. And this guy does it too, because when he catches the bad guys, he chews them out. I guess maybe that comes from being a teacher, because you take the kids out in the hall, and that's kind of what he's doing.
Jim I'm talking to.
And you give them the what for, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's early. That was it actually in the second and third issues and the fifth issue of Diversions, I believe, somewhere in there.
Yeah. You'd mentioned issue 2 of Night Spider, so that's what I pulled up here. So
Yeah,
The
that
color
was
really sharp.
yeah.
Thank you.
It captures the mood.
Stephen did that cover.
I was going to say that's Steven's cover. I recognize his art anywhere. Yeah.
James
like a
inked it,
Stephen
and
cover.
I colored it. And like I say, it's a collaboration thing. We're just like, hey, this looks cool. Hey, you want to ink it? Yeah. Can I color it? I'm always in there. Can I color it? And a lot of times they let me.
All right, let me. There's a whole lot of comments here. I'm not gonna, guys. Y'all keep it up, but I can't mention every single one.
Thanks,
of them
guys.
So let's just run through here. Max Apocalypse says when you were showing your old versions, he goes, I need some facsimile editions now. Donnie was awesome. Yeah, he's another.
Donnie was awesome.
Yeah,
yes,
that's missed.
We did a comic just in honor of him, Donnie's Pages, and I promised him. He knew what was going on, and I promised him that everything he did for me would see print. And he always wanted his own comic, and we couldn't do it while he was alive. But we finally, when we got enough stuff together, we did Donnie's Pages, and that's all his work. And he was so cool. He was hilarious.
The Wiz says social media really brought us together. I was a void of comic friends in the 80s. Yeah, well, I think you had to meet them at your local shop, didn't you?
Yeah.
If you had one.
Yeah, if you had one, and if anybody else showed up at the same time you did. The only time I remember anybody else being in the comic shop that I went to was when the Superman died, and there was a line out. There was people. The whole county was in line to get that issue. Yeah. And now it's collecting dust somewhere, but
yeah. Here's an idea. Max Apocalypse is offering this one to you. He goes, Night Spider needs to encounter the Moon Eagle.
An alternate universe that could very well happen.
Dana's in the house. What's up, Dana?
Dana.
Hey, Dana.
Hey, Dana. It's okay as you show up late for the streams, as long as you don't show up late for your pages.
Yeah. That's right. He's never late. He is
once an editor, always an editor.
He is just, he amazes me. He's like, yeah, I got this idea. And about 2 days later, he sends me all this finished, colored, beautiful artwork.
Yeah. Let's see. Atris is in the house. He says, hey, everyone. Hey, Atris, thanks for hanging out with us. As always, good to see you. Let's see here. Original pieces. All right. I think we've run. They're just talking amongst themselves now. So
get a room. Get a room.
Side conversations. Eyes up here, kids.
Make it come.
So you mentioned the anthologies. Because we blew through the 90s to current real quick. So when you were doing those in the 90s, what was that? 98, 99?
Yeah. 2000. Yeah.
So what made you decide to do it again in 2019?
Well, like I said, I'd been doing some work for some other publishers, and I just felt like I had to depend on. I had to depend on somebody else. Will they want to use this character? Can I find an artist? And, they're going to, publisher things. And I thought, if I do all this myself, I can just make sure it gets done. And it's the way I want it to be done.
Yeah, if you've got to do it all anyway, it might as well be for you, right?
Heck yeah. I do everything but draw it. And if I just worked at it a little bit longer, maybe, but I got guys that they don't just draw, they plot. They come up with great ideas and they just make it so much. I can write a full script. James, for example, JW, I can write a full script for him. And I quit doing that because he just has so many ideas that he'll tell you. I wrote him an 8-page story. I made it as a 3-parter. That iguana story was like 10 pages, and he like expanded it into a full issue's worth of stories. And because he just has these cool ideas, and this scene would be better. Let's bring because I was used to writing 8-pagers when I was working doing work for Lucky Comics. Everything had to be 8 pages because that's their format. They're $2 for an 8-page comic, which was a great idea and really cool. But I was like, I've got a 10-page story. Well, we can't do that. Can I run can I run it on the pages on the inside covers? No, they won't work. Okay. I understand because that's your format. That's the way you want to do it. I'm just trying to I'm not trying to mess things up, but I'm trying to rock things, shake things up a little bit. But I wanted to get to the point to where that's what they're doing. That's what they need. That's great. No, I totally understand. But if I wanted to do an 11-page story or a 3-page story or whatever for Diversions, I can do it. If somebody comes to me with one, I don't have to say, well, it's got to be this many pages or whatever, because we have enough stuff where we can just make it all work. Yeah. And you never know what you're going to get, which might work against us. But that's why I called it a spinner rack between 2 covers, because it was like I want it to feel like you're going to the spinner rack, and when you open the book, you just grab one and read it and have a good time. That's what it's all about. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that works when, because I totally get the here's 8 pages, because you have to play. If you've got your system, got your method, you have so many pages. Like
exactly.
Tom came back when we were at Malibu. It's like I had 22 pages, and Tom filled the rest of them with ads. I could not have any more pages, right? Or it was like, hey, this is how many you have. I need one editorial page from you. These are ads. Right. And so we were, I'm not going to say hampered, but it was like, this was the formula. This is what we did. And you knew.
You're locked in. Also, you're trapped by budgets because it's page rates.
Yes.
And an extra page, you're paying everybody. You're paying the letterer and the colorist and the artist and the writer and extra money. And that adds up on the budget. So 20
budget's already
and
set.
The ad adds to the budget.
You take away some of those ads, the budget's gone down. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But I don't have a budget, and like I say, these Kablam takes such good care of me. I'm like, this issue's 24. Next issue, I've got enough stuff for 40 pages, man. I want to, why not? And we do it, and they take good care of me, and away we go. Yeah. And now all of a sudden it's like this anniversary issue where I want to do 72. I was thinking 48.
Yeah, you were telling me it was going to be a huge one.
Yeah, it's 72 pages, and that's pinups and ads. And the guys came up with an idea to do like, I call it faux trading cards. Everybody's like, wait, I'm not faux. I'm French. No, I'm not French. But anyway, he got the idea from an issue of Tom Strong, where one page is the front of the cards and the back is the back of the cards. Okay. And so I hope I have them in order, man. I've tried. I printed them out to make sure they're in order when you go to print them. I hope they come out right.
How many pressure's on you, man?
Yeah, make me look good.
So this isn't
page numbers.
So this one's not printed yet, right?
Right. Yep. Okay.
I remember.
We've got the 4 covers. Right there they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that.
And then there's the backs of them right here.
Right.
Yeah.
And I printed them out on my little printer, and they came out right. So unless I do something.
Hey, dude, don't cut up your comic mag. These cards aren't really for trading yet.
I did that because of the Marvel value stamps. That's why I did it. Which I don't think anybody's going to buy this big old thing and start cutting it up. But I thought it was funny. It made me laugh. So.
Wait, Lloyd, you're going about it wrong.
Marketing.
Well, there is 4 covers, so they can buy.
One to save and one to cut up.
Yeah, there you go.
Just saying.
I mean, that's the only way to do it.
Wait, there's a name I recognize here. Hey, whoops, Silverline, whoo! I know that. For those who don't know who Kenobi, that's Quentin.
Quentin. Quentin's joined us. He
Quentin.
one of the covers. The one that has Brick and Night Spider and I've forgotten that quickly. Anyway, Stephen drew it and Quentin inked it, and I got to mention this guy because he told me, he made me a bet that I wouldn't get his name in. Hani Katab. I said it. He's from Egypt. A couple months ago, he approached me like, man, I just want to join up with you guys. I love making comics and things. And he sent me his art. And I'm like, why haven't you contacted me sooner? Right. He said I was chicken. I was afraid. I'm like, so he's drawn like since April or May, I think he's drawn like 7 stories, like 5-6 page stories, and created a bunch of characters. But there was a Brick story I'd had that hadn't been, I drew it when I first came. It was the second story I wrote about Brick, and it had never been drawn. And I gave it to Hani. He had it like in 2 days. He had it back to me. And Quentin came along. We're like, Quentin, you want to ink this? He's like, yeah, that looks like fun. So I said, it looks like pages out of Epic Illustrated. Nice. It looks so cool. And they made a great team on that part. And then the second part is it happens in another dimension. And so we turned Dana loose on the inks and colors on that one. And so it looks like, one issue is Earth and the other issue is otherworldly. And I think it's going to turn out pretty cool, but that'll be in issues 26 and 27. So see, we're already working on next year's stuff.
We're way ahead.
Yeah. That's fantastic. That's the way you got to be, right? If you're going to do this stuff on a regular basis, continual, if you're not,
I'm going to have to publish Moon Eagle.
Yeah. Hey,
nobody wants
I've got a pencil and a piece of paper over here if you're not careful.
So where can people find these things?
They can find them on, right now we're doing pre-orders. We have a coffee shop, which it looks like Ko-Fi, that we have Blue Moon Comics Group coffee shop, and we're taking pre-orders there. Excuse me?
What's the address? The URL?
It's, let me look. I have to look and see. I don't remember it. I always just copy and paste it. But I will have it for you in just a second.
And I'll put it in the link to all the places we're streaming at.
Yeah, it's one of those where you better have the link.
Just send it to me on Messenger if you want to, and I'll just,
I can do that instead of wasting time. But I'll send it to you on Messenger. But we also sell through Indie Planet, of course.
Indie Planet.
But they don't have them yet, so they can't do anything until this is over with, and I send them to them, but they'll get them up. And we always sell digital copies through Drive-Through Comics and Global Comics.
Okay.
So we've got the coffee shop, Global, Drive-Through, Indie Planet. So we've got a few places where we can be found.
I was trying.
What about shows? Do you do shows?
No, I've been to like 2 in my life. But I'm hoping that in the next year or so that things open up. Being a teacher, and I also traveled a lot because I sang with a group for a while. We sang in churches and sang gospel music for a while.
Really?
Yeah, for about 30 years. But
wow,
that's more than a while.
That comes out of right field. I make comments. I sing in a group.
I'm a jack of all trades and master of none. But I try everything. But we traveled a lot then, and I never got to go to one because weekends is when we were always traveling. So I'm not with them anymore, and I've retired. But I've also got some family commitments and things like that haven't made it quite possible yet to do it. But I'm hoping that at least I can get to one here in Kentucky with Mike one of these days, not too long from now. And
y'all can go
hang out.
The thing is, and I mean this in the best possible way, you have the personality to sell a comic book across the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a good salesman.
It's just, well, thank you. It's just a matter of getting all my ducks in a row to make it happen.
Well,
and
it's
on my.
If you don't.
I will.
All right.
There's a local one that they have every 3 months or something. So I'll start there and work my way in. It's a matter of inventory and storage.
Right.
Honestly, is the big deal for me right now.
Well, Mike knows everything about that stuff.
Yes,
that's right.
He's right next to you.
Especially everything in Kentucky.
Yeah, we can just throw them at each other across the mountaintop.
So David Irwin says, best time now that you're retired, Rob.
Yeah, that's true. People think when you're retired you don't have much to do. Not so.
No,
not so.
Yeah.
But
my dad
I spend a lot of time coloring, lettering, and all this other stuff. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. Now, but you don't? Do you letter or color for anyone else?
No, they haven't asked me. They've seen my work, I guess.
Oh, really?
But no, I would make time for that if somebody wanted me to. But I love coloring.
Okay.
I enjoy that almost as much as the writing. The lettering can be a chore. I actually started lettering just so when other people would letter me and make typos, I thought, you know what, I can make typos just as well as anybody else. And if they're going to be typos, they're going to be my typos. If it's a mistake, it's on me. And so I just started doing it myself.
Yeah. Argo Comics says, did you sing the Blue Moon song from Grease?
I sang along with it, not at the theater, but when I watch it on TV at home. I do. There's a website. This is stupid. There's a website called Sing Snap. And I used to get on there a lot and sing. I've got I don't know, way too many songs on there and do these little contests and things. Because that's the other thing I love to do is sing. But I've not had a lot of time for that either.
So
recently.
If we Google you, what'd you say, Sing Snap? If we Google your name and Sing Snap, we're going to find videos.
If I tell you my name on there, you would.
Okay.
I'll send you a link to one that I think won't make you go, lose your hearing or something. And then if you want to explore more, you're welcome to it.
Okay. The Wiz says, I'll discuss rates with Lloyd. How much does he charge? Lloyd, how much do you charge to join the team?
How many pages you got in you to draw next issue?
There you go.
Stephen Butler says Lloyd needs to start doing some shows. Dadgummit, folks need to see this stuff.
Yeah. Stephen, maybe he'll let me. Maybe we can work it out where I can get like a corner of a table or something next to him one day, and we can kind of do something like that. He's threatened to come close enough for me to get to meet him and hang out with him at one. So that would be wonderful.
He sets up a great booth with his daughter.
I've seen pictures, but and Lily, oh my goodness, the stuff that she's doing. Yeah.
I'm trying to. The chat is busy, you guys. Hey, anybody? Since you guys are so busy, they're singing songs now. Do any of y'all have?
Are they giving requests?
Yeah. They are.
Do you have any questions that you would like us to ask Lloyd? So boys, it's going. I'm having problems keeping up with it over here.
They're just rattling off of it. It's pretty fun.
So hey, Max says he's at the Ko-Fi shop holding down my favorite spot on the counter. Hey, send me that link, Max, so that I can share it with everybody here. If you don't mind. I'd like to share it while we're live. And that
Max has a cool podcast. He needs to send you the link to that too. Weird Warriors. Yeah.
All right. So there's still a lot of. All right. So next question, fellas.
Yeah, I have one.
Go ahead.
Commodore Dinosaur. Let's go. How did that come about?
That is Brad's creation. Again, my friend Mark Davis, bless him. He was doing Golden Era comics and Surprising comics, and you've printed some of those too. But he first published. Yeah, there you go. And when he decided to stop publishing, he's just sending guys to me. and not just any guys, but guys that are capable of this. Now he does this. Every bit of this is his. He's not like me. He can draw, and he writes, and he letters, and he colors, and he does all the graphics and all those things. So all I do is put I gave him a Blue Moon logo to stick on it, and he does the rest.
I mean, look at that storytelling. He just has such great pacing.
Yeah, Brad he is amazing, and he teaches graphic illustration.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. But he's just like,
look at that face.
He's working on issue number 2. He's closing in on completing issue number 2, and he did a science fiction. He has a science fiction series that he started in our 23rd issue, and it's gorgeous. And I'm trying to study him real hard so I can get that kind of coloring down, which he uses different tools than I do.
Because it's what I like is that it's not what you think it is. From the title, you think it's going to be like a Cartoon Network show.
Yeah.
That sort of pokes fun at stuff, and it's not. It's like a serious comic, but it's also goofy.
Yes, it's straight up Doc Savage became a dinosaur kind of thing.
Yes.
And he does it. Yeah, he does it, and it's just like going back to the 70s and 80s, when we're not trying to be cool, we're just trying to have fun kind of comics.
Well, I think, and we've said this on the show before. I think a lot of times people forget that comic books, they're not real, right?
Yeah. It's like when somebody, it's kind of like in the new Spider-Man movie, spoilers if you haven't watched it, but when Ned's asking him, what do you got to do when you go to the bathroom? It's not, supposedly that's real life for them, but they're comics. Yeah, I don't need my characters to have zippers on their pants, and I don't need the sound effects in the panel or anything like that. I get on with the action, tell the story, and wrap it up, and hope everybody has a good time. It's almost like getting on a roller coaster ride or something is what I like to do with the superhero things.
Oh yeah,
just get in there, get in the action, fight it out, have a good time. At the end, Night Spider's going to tell you how rotten you are, and you need to straighten up.
No rules and no apologies.
That's the thing is tell me a story. Give me some. It's not enough to just give me interesting characters,
right?
Or characters I've never seen before, or characters that are based on your lived-in experience. Without a good story, I'm out.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, this is great comments from Max. He says, you don't ask why the Batmobile never gets stuck in traffic.
Right.
Yeah.
It has a really loud horn. I found that out when I was like 4.
That's the Denny O'Neil quote. Denny O'Neil was a great storyteller. Yeah.
Yes.
We've talked about that on the show quite a bit. Is that I don't need my comics to be real. I need them to be, fantastical, right? Because I live in the real world. I don't need more of that.
That's why. That's why the title is Diversions. I need my diversions. Yeah. We need a diversion from the real world. I don't want to read if I want to read a comic that's going to make me, and I have nothing against it, read Mouse. It's one of the greatest things that's ever been done. Yeah. But if I'm in the mood, if I'm feeling down, I'm not going to pick it up and start reading. That's not what I'm going to do for a pick me up. I remember when I was little and I watched The Fly on TV for the first time. And that scene scared me so badly because I was a little, second, whatever grader. I went and got me the stack of Archie comics and I read those until I fell asleep and that got out of my system. That's what comics are for. They're to get us through these. There's something that we can do and enjoy to get us through the hard times and get our mind off of our problems for a little while. The problems will still be there. But you know what? Maybe we'll learn something from these heroes to at least we'll be a little stronger and be a little more focused and be able to get through those things. We get a little inspiration that way.
Absolutely.
That sounds like the thing for your whole line of books, really.
That's pretty much what
these are escapist, pulpy, superhero-y fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we throw in westerns and we throw in horror and we throw in science fiction and I'm dying to do a funny animal, that sort of thing too. But we'll get there.
Matt Likes Comics is a great crowd tonight, guys. I agree, Matt. And Matt, good to see you here. In fact, because of that, Tom, don't you have something to tell everyone?
What would that be, Roland? That you can find me at the New York City Comic Con on October 8th?
Well, there's that. But what you tell
Speaking
everyone?
of good
I don't
salesman,
think that's what it was, Tom.
Well, yeah, that as long as you guys are here, you should like and subscribe.
That's right.
yes.
I only see. Y'all can't see it, but I got a little counter right here on my screen, and it shows me the number of thumbs up. And there's far more comments over here than there are thumbs on this little counter.
Come on, guys.
Oh, get over there,
need
like
to
and
see
subscribe, man.
Some thumbs.
Like and subscribe.
Otherwise, we're not going to have Lloyd back.
That's right.
Yeah.
Lloyd's extended family. I think we should just have him all the time.
No, because he's got to make some comics.
That's right. Here, Max says comics for every mood and topic. Well, that was what I was going to ask, and you kind of touched on it a little bit. Independent comics are often, how can I say this? They're often not suitable for third graders, right? They're often not suitable for, I don't know how they're in third grade. 8,
11,
6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
6, 7, 8. Yeah.
So
10, 9.
Okay. Well, so they're often not even suitable for 12-year-olds, right? So what about Blue Moon Comics? What kind of readership are you looking for? Obviously I know you want us because we're comic book geeks, but can I give this to my 6-year-old grandkid? I don't have
That was really one of the main things that we wanted to do, was be accessible to all ages. We don't have a comics code, but all the creators have agreed and are of the same mind that we want as many readers as we can have. We don't want to alienate anyone for any reason, unless they just think we stink or whatever, but you can't help that. But I took them to school. When we started making, I took them to school. I gave them to the principal. I had them on my desk and for the kids to read when they had free time and things like that. I wanted something that if we ever get into like doing a trade paperback collection or something, that maybe the local schools might buy copies and put in their library. Yeah. We just wanted something, but we don't. I grew up in the 70s, the Groovy Agent. I don't sound like him. In my head, he's Wolfman Jack crossed with Casey Kasem, but instead you got me. But
it's cool, Daddy.
But in the 70s, they had the comics code, and they tried to push as far as they could.
Yeah.
But it was accessible to kids.
Yes.
And yet it wasn't dumbed down for the kids.
Right.
And too many times when we think of things as kid friendly, it's like, nobody over 9 or 10 is going to want to touch this with a 10-foot pole. But what I want is comics that the little 4-year-old can pick it up and flip through it and not have to worry. And the 63-year-old can pick it up and say, hey, that reminds me of the comics I read when I was growing up, and whatever in between.
Well, and I think, and I'm going to speak for these guys here momentarily. I think that's part of the reason that a lot of the Silverliners like Blue Moon Comics is because we have the same. It's not an official policy, but we have the same kind of thing. It's like we want our comics to be read by everybody, right?
Yes.
We don't do the politics here as well. It's like because we want everybody from old to young, from left to right. We want everybody reading comics.
Exactly. I feel like comics is kind of like, I would like to make comics that the United Nations could use just to bring people together. So you know what? We may disagree on all these things, but doggone it, we're comic geeks. If we can say, man, this is a really cool issue here. And things like, if we're going to argue and stuff, let's argue over who's stronger or whatever. And to me, it should be something that unites. We're so divided anymore anyway. I want something that unites people, even if it's just for a few minutes, brings a smile to their face and says, hey, that was fun.
Yeah. Absolutely. Dana Black here says comics saved my life more than once.
Yes, sir.
That's good to hear, Dana.
Yep.
Glad you're still with us, because if you weren't here, we wouldn't be enjoying your art right now.
Well, you'll find, I think, I think it's a truism, but it may not be 100% true, is that the people who make comics, they have to do it.
Yeah.
Like, they have to write, they have to draw, they have to publish, they have to get it out of their system. And that is a driver that you don't, like, nobody says, oh, I really want to be an accountant. Like, no, they may, but they don't say it like comic book people say, I want to be in comics.
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly true. And I think you guys all feel the same way. The guys that I work with feel the same way. Yeah. We can't not do it.
Right.
I tried to stop, and say, I've got to focus on my job here. And then I'm like, I'm retired 3 years, so I can say this. One of the stories I wrote for the Creeps, I wrote during a break that we had one afternoon. I just sat there and I wrote it and I sent it in to them, and they accepted it all right there before the kids came back from whatever they were doing. And just can't help it. It's just like I told somebody, that ink just gets in your blood. You absorb it through the pores, and it's got to come out.
Well, we talk about this on the show a lot, or at least I do, which is that there's something about holding a printed comic in your hands that you made or were a part of that isn't like anything else.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. That I was so nervous when I sent the files to Kablam for the first issue. My hands were shaking. I'm telling you, because this was like, this is my moment that I finally am going to do it. And it came back, and I was just like, oh, these guys are great. My artists, co-creators, plotters, they're great. And I've got to do. It's like I got to have more now. I got to do more.
Yeah,
yeah. But that's the thing about because Mike, like, I finish an issue and I finish reading it, and I turn around and he's got another one. He's previewing issue 8 just came out. And he's already previewed the cover to number 9 for Man in the Mask. It's like, man, it's like he is into it.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
You can't help it.
Yeah, it's an absolute addiction. You think, oh, I can't do this again, and then before you know it, you're 6 pages into the next one, and it's like,
yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's funny because Lloyd, your path sounds similar to the sort of the Silverline path, because I did some books in the 90s. I lost a lot of money in the 90s, late 90s, right? Early 90s, I was with Malibu, and there was lots of money in the industry then, right? But late 90s, when I tried to do Silverline on my own, and I lost a lot of money, and that's when my wife said, "Stop."
Yeah. Well, print on demand. That's the thing. Right. Yeah, print on demand wasn't there, but now it's like
everything.
I've got an allowance, and as long as I don't go outside that allowance, my wife's watching right now, but she can say, "Yeah, it's true."
So the way Silverline started, right, is because, like you said, once it gets in your blood, because I lost so much money, I got out for a little bit, but then doing research for one of my classes, because I'm a university teacher, I stumbled upon an international publisher looking for someone to do an adaptation. Of course, I was still a little bit pissed at the industry, and I'm like, I can do this. I made comics. You should hire me. Doggone it if they didn't hire me the next day, right? And I'm like, okay, well. And so I
got to do it.
And so I ended up doing a couple adaptations, and I'm like, man, this is fun. I remember why I love comics so much.
Right.
But then it wasn't long after that I found out about Kablam, and I'm like, wait, so I can print one copy if I want to? And Tommy goes, yeah, if you want to. I'm like, why would you print one? I don't know, but right? And I'm like,
because we're broke.
I'm like,
yeah, print one.
I don't have to print 3,000. He's like, no, you can just print whatever you want. And I'm like, dadgummit. And so that's how we got back into it.
Because in the 90s, it was just fill up your garage with unsold comics.
Yes. Yeah.
There are no garages in my part of Kentucky. I don't know about mine.
Carport.
You put them in the carport, they get rained on.
Shed, man, right? You got a storage shed out back up on blocks, don't you?
Yeah, I do, but it's full of everybody else's stuff. So,
Oh, they're singing Mike's praises here. We always sing Mike's praises. But David says, thanks, Mike Belcher, for bringing some light onto us. Mike has been great, says Dana. Really want to do something special for him. Oh, look at that. We even get a shout out. Silverline guys are awesome. Thanks.
Hey, Max
That's
Pockler.
James. That's JW.
Call that out.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. Well,
we're kind of all interconnected in so
Yeah.
many ways in the small press, and I mean, most all of us are friends with Steven, and even though some of you got to breathe the same air as him, and I just like talked to him on the phone a couple times.
I had lunch with him a couple weeks ago in San Diego.
There you go. And we're always one of these days we're going to do that, but he's going to do some things for us when his plate gets a little uncluttered.
Awesome.
Steven probably doesn't want me to tell this story, but I always like to laugh at him. I've said, when we talk about how much stuff you've read and all that kind of stuff, and he listens to a lot of audiobooks now, but back when we were roommates, it wasn't unusual that I'd find Steven asleep with a book right on. And what would happen is he would read like 20 pages and fall asleep and then put it aside and never get back to it, right? I said, Steven, you've read the first 20 pages of more books than anybody I know.
If only he could absorb the rest of the book through his forehead when it was laying there.
Well,
Osmosis.
Now he's got the audiobooks that he can do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was always funny. So Lloyd, what's the future look like for Blue Moon? What do you want to do? I know 26 is nearly over, but what are you looking at for this year and next year, and what does the future look like?
We're actually, for the first time, I can actually schedule, at least have a penciled in schedule for next year. For the first few years, it was like, I don't have enough for this issue. I'm going to reprint something I did back in the 90s and color it and stick it in there. And that worked because I think it was work that needed to be seen anyway. But now I've got, Dana and Hanny and Jada. They're working way ahead. They got all kinds of stuff going on. I'm just sitting back, send me the pages and I'll write words all over it, and that they're great. I mean, they come up with, I'll give them I almost feel like Stan Lee sometimes, so that's why I mention them a lot, because I don't want to get in trouble and say he's taking all the credit, because I'm taking I put words all over it. I put words all over their art.
Yeah.
I try not to cover it any up. Donnie Page, I'll get off topic here for a minute, but Donnie Page, when I worked with him, bless his heart, he did not want any line that he drew covered with a word balloon. And so I had to, but he would do an extreme close up. It's just the whole panel is filled with the face, and I'm like, where am I going to, I wrote like Roy Thomas dialogue on that for that panel. And no, I couldn't cover up anything, not a hair. And I said, man, you got to leave me some room for this. And so he started putting these big black boxed lines across the tops of the panels, like, there, put all your stuff in there. Don't put any on my artwork. I've learned to adapt. with the guys. But the guys now, they're writers themselves. I mean, they come up. I'll like I said, I can write a script and they'll expand on it, or I can just do Marvel style and say, here's what happens on page 1, 2, 3, 4, and get something way better back than what I had in mind. And then I could spend my time enjoying the coloring of it and coming up with some words to fit the pictures and things, which is a lot of fun. And then letter it, which is not the fun part, but you can't read a comic without the lettering. Yeah. So,
well, anyone who's seen our show knows that I'm a huge fan of the Marvel method. And that's because I've always believed in, I've always seen what the final product is. And in my experience, when you leave the story, and see, I don't know what you're talking about specifically, but I've always considered artists as the storytellers, not the writers so much, but the storytellers, right? They're the visual storytellers. You've got to let them breathe. You've got to let them have some room. And so I've always been a big proponent of the Marvel method.
I think it's the best way.
This, right? Max says, come for the Blue Moon, stay for the Tommy impression.
Well, if you want to.
Oh, Tommy, I've known Tommy almost as long as I've known Steven.
Oh, yeah. We've been around.
For a long, long time. Yeah.
that friendship, man. Comics is a brotherhood. All the guys that we call ourselves the Blue Moon Brotherhood, and we mean it. We talk about our lives, we talk about, and it's just like we're buddies. and we just have a good time.
Well,
and we hope it shows up on the page.
Well,
yeah, Steven's kids call me Uncle Tommy. That's how.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, and you say this a lot. It's like people want to work with people they like, right? Especially in the independent comics when we're not talking about a whole lot of money, right? If there is any, you don't. If that's the situation you're looking at, why do you want to put up with somebody that you don't like, right? So people want to work with people that they like and that they generally agree with and can get along with, because it's fun. That's what you want to do. Listen, I've got a real job, right? I don't need the frustrations of my real job coming into this where I have fun.
Yes.
What it sounds like too is, Lloyd, that you're very flexible about working with your artists, where it's like, here's an idea, they take it and run with it, and then so they get to do their thing, and then you get to write the words to fit what they've done. So it's that Marvel style loop where you're not the story enforcer, more or less. You're the you're the puzzle solver.
I have written a lot of full scripts because a lot of them I've written before I ever had an artist, and I had no idea who was going to draw it, what their experience was, or anything like that. But once I found guys that, like James and Dana and Hanny and Steven, I've written a lot of stories for Steven, and someday you're going to see them. But we just kind of gel together. And I am flexible because I love collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, a lot of writers especially, they want to be their vision on the page exactly. And that's fine. If that's what you want, I hope you can get it. But I like the collaboration. I like, hey, how about if we do this? And oh man, because I'm telling you, these guys, they're more visual than I am, is why I'm still the writer and never became an artist, obviously. So they can come up with little angles and in additions and things, and it's like, oh, I know what I can say right here that's going to make this really cool, and things like that. So it makes it more fun. It's never like a job. Until I retired, I was teaching, and all the guys have jobs. Mm-hmm. Some are professional artists, but a lot of them work at all variety of jobs, and they do this in their spare time,
right?
Because they love it. And that's why I've always done it. And it's so cool to find guys like that want to work with you, and that you like, and they like you. And, it's magic. It really is.
Yeah.
I love my guys. I do.
I always think in the best cases that making comics should be like you're all just sitting around at a coffee shop or a bar or a restaurant, and you're hanging out for a couple hours. That's what making comics should feel like.
Yeah, it feels like I did when I was in college. A gang of us would go to one of the lounges, and we just hang out, and we'd come up with all kinds of crazy ideas for comic book characters and things, and we had a ball. And that's what it's like. It's through the internet, we're not all in the same room, but it's the same feel. Exactly like you say, Tom. It's exactly that kind of feel.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons, I tell folks that's one of the reasons that I know I personally like our regular Sunday night streams, is it because it's like we're sitting around after a show and shooting the breeze and talking about the industry and the things we like to do, the things we enjoy. Sometimes we're mostly positive here, and anytime we talk negative, we don't ever talk no names.
Yeah, we turn the camera off at that point.
Yeah, don't leave it on like I did before the show.
I mean, because there are things that happen negatively in the industry, and we don't want to avoid them, but we don't call out anybody, any names or anything like that, because comics should be fun. They should be a diversion, right, from the real world, and we want to have fun.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say, watching your shows, I already felt comfortable. When you first approached me about it, I'm like kind of nervous, but having watched you guys, I don't even get to watch them live, but I'll go back and watch, and you have a ball. And I'm like, yeah, this is going to be fun. And I couldn't wait. Well, I could, because I've flipped around on Facebook on camera while you guys are hollering at me, and I don't have but anyway, nobody needs to know all that. But Put your headphones on, stupid.
We'll wait for the second time you come back to talk to us to tell that story. How's that?
Maybe we'll forget it by then.
Oh, no.
Dana says, I'm hearing words like spare time and money, and I'm flabbergasted.
Notice the
Not much of
quotation
that.
marks, Dana.
Next, we'll talk about movie deals.
Yeah.
You can be further flabbergasted.
Yeah. All right. Well, as always happens on our time, we have flown by. I already asked my last question. It was like, what do you got planned for the future? You guys got any additional questions?
Yes. Commodore Dinosaur #2. When is it?
He is coloring it now.
All right.
So we're
excellent.
hoping it'll be out in a month or two. I'll probably, if he gets it ready soon enough, it'll probably be, I'm going to send Diversions 25 to the printer in September. If it's ready, I'll send that along and make your job twice as hard. But if
Send
not,
it.
maybe the month after.
All right.
You can handle it. I know
Well,
that.
we
I
got
know
it.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Within the next couple months, it'll be
All right, I'm in.
it'll be online, and then I'll send it to him to get it ready for print.
So, do you have a newsletter or something like that where Tom can go and that way he's alerted when it's
Yes.
available?
Where's
I have the coffee shop, which I'll send you a link to. We
Okay.
also have a website, bluemooncomics.org. I kept that one simple so I could remember it.
I feel you.
We have a Blue Moon Comics Facebook page, and we
Right.
have an official Blue Moon Comics fan page on Facebook also.
Nice.
And I'm easily accessible through it because I'm scrolling while I'm in the waiting for time to. So
We're
right.
back.
we'll save that for the next time. But anyway, I'm easy to find.
Okay.
You just got to know I'm there to hunt for me, I guess.
Yeah.
all right?
And my last question then would be, excuse me, for those who are like Blue Moon, I've seen, I don't know, you guys got a whole bunch. You're on issue 25. Where would you point someone as a starting point for hopefully these people who are just hearing about you for the first time? Where would you tell them to go?
Commodore
start
Dinosaur #1. That's where I'd tell them.
here? That's where Tom went. Yeah.
That's exactly right. But the cool thing is, you really don't have to. We've kept continued stories to a minimum.
Okay.
So a lot of our issues are self-contained. If you want to start with the first issue, that would be great. Or start with this 25th issue because it's all self-contained. There's 7 stories. They're all self-contained. They're 4 new heroes making their debut in this issue. Our superheroes. Dana came up with a story, the little short story teaming up. A bunch of our superheroes are already around. We've got the cards in there that gives you information about them on the back, and little sneaky little things like that they came up with. And I said, yes, let's do that.
Nice.
But and also the special editions where we collect all the stories from one arc about each character. Like you can get Night Spider if you're into sword and sorcery. You can get Cragor. If you want a Western, you can get Guns N' Rosa. So you could either go, you could try out Diversions if you want the full picture, or if there's characters that catch your attention, we've got collections for them, and they're standalone collections.
Nice.
Right.
And most of those are also available at Indie Planet.
Yes.
Can they just look up? Is it Indie Planet / Blue Moon? Will I get them there? Or Blue Moon Comics?
I have better luck if I put my name, which you've updated. You've updated the site.
Yeah.
So, but put Lloyd Smith in there, and you'll find everything I've done pretty much.
Okay.
All right.
But the Blue Moon stuff will be right in there first.
All right. Cool. I think if you talk to those guys at Indie Planet, I think they can do a Blue / Blue Moon for you. If it doesn't already exist, or Blue Moon.
If only we knew somebody there.
Yeah.
There is a link. I mean, you can go in there and there's a link to it, but I mean, like in the search engines, there's other comics called Blue Moon, and that might be a little.
I got you.
There might be a little confusing that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Books. Yep.
All right then.
All right. Well, anything else, fellas?
Lloyd, it's great meeting you. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah.
Thank you. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Lloyd,
definitely. You guys at Blue Moon are just absolute a ray of sunshine in the indie market. I mean, it just looking at every issue, I just can't help but just feel good looking at it. I mean, you guys put so much heart, and it really is the indie spirit, and it's just I can't speak enough good for you guys. I mean, it's just awesome.
Thank you. We're all fans of the Man in the Mask as well. I mean, the modern day spirit is what I say. That's just like your comics are great too, Roland.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
We like, and Tom, man, you've shown
anything.
how it's done. Well, you've had your hand in a lot of things, so, but and then
he's working on one right now.
None of us would be in print if it wasn't for Thomas. We'd just be looking at our screens all the time.
Yeah, Tom's got a fun one coming out soon. Actually, that Tommy's going to be working with him as well.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
should start on that one pretty soon.
And we want Mike to letter it. So
there you go.
Well, all right then. So before I forget, don't forget we do have a crowdfunder going on. It's at 2 spots. We've got it over on Kickstarter, or we've got it on Fund My Comic. We tend to prefer Fund My Comic because they take less of the funds from us, so we get to keep more. Just look for silverlinecomicscrowdfunder.com, and that will take you there. If you're on Kickstarter, I don't have the links here, but if you're on Kickstarter, look for Silverline Trades, and you'll be able to, if you missed Cat and Mouse, you can see this is just the proof copy here. If you miss Cat and Mouse, you can get it in trade format. So it's all 4 of the issues are included here. So get over there, all kind of deals on them. If you get more than one, the price goes down considerably. So get over there and help us out. On Tuesday, they didn't get. I guess the Tuesday group are going to talk about what they've been reading in the summer. Because summertime reads. This is Tuesday. That is 11 p.m. Eastern time. On Wednesday, the Wednesday Whammer is talking about what is the 180 rule, part 2. I guess that didn't get enough of that in the first time.
I didn't get it the first time they did it.
That's on Wednesday. Well, I don't think they liked my comment. I told that's not a hard and fast rule for comics, right? And they're like, well,
I'm looking. They've done it twice now. So
am I looking this way? I'm looking this way. I don't get it. It doesn't work in the comic book.
It's a good rule to consider, but it's not a hard and fast rule.
No.
And then next week, this will be a fun one. Kickstarter isn't magic. Crowdfunding tips from us to you. So
I'll be watching that one.
All right. Well, Lloyd, if you got a few minutes, hang around with this.
Well, hold on before we go. I want to. I've got an announcement. Small announcement. Ready?
Yeah.
Oh, did you have to do that?
I start doing drum roll.
So, if everybody's been wondering where Mr. Pete has gone to, Peter Clinton, he's going to be on our Wednesday show on the 30 Minutes of Comic Book Chaos, where we draw these kind of things.
Oh, excellent!
So,
that's another great show.
Yeah, that's a fun show. So I talked him into coming on, so I'm going to wake him up somehow. So he better be awake.
Yeah, because it's like 3 a.m. there.
I know. He picked the subject. We're going to do Harley Quinn. So. If you want to see Pete, and then he's supposedly he's working on issue 3 of the Silverline team up. So yippee!
Nice, yes,
excellent.
Glad to hear it.
So look for us. That's Tuesdays at 8 at YouTube.
That's 8 Eastern time.
8 Eastern time. 30 minutes of comic book chaos.
All right. Well, it's that time. As Lloyd, thanks again for hanging out with us. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you. I've enjoyed it.
Everything about Blue Moon, and all of you folks. All of you not associated with Blue Moon already, get over there and support Blue Moon. Buy a comic from them or more than one, and try something out if you haven't. And until next time, remember to make mine Silverline. Good night, everyone.
Hi, I'm Chris Ulm. I'm the former editor-in-chief of Malibu Comics. Make mine Silverline.